Well, good morning, folks. Today is Tuesday. Today Tuesday? Today's Tuesday or not? Today's... I think today's Tuesday. And I'm over here this morning getting everything fired up. Yesterday it rained us out for a part of a day, and then so we changed out some things there at the office, the shop. My guardrail out there by the shop, I worry about people pulling in there at the office and then just over into Route 10. That was always kind of a fear of mine. So I put in some guardrails there. Well, when I backed the shop up, I pulled the shop as close to the office as I could without interfering with that parking between the office and the shop. I wanted to be able to park vehicles and stuff in between there, and I wanted to be able to get the sewer and everything hooked up to that existing system right there. So I didn't want to get too far away and have problems with that. So I backed it up. Well, when I did that, I was going to put the compressor shed on the end. All this time I had it planned on putting the compressor shed on the end toward the wash pad. Well, whenever we started working on developing the system to put in electric into the shop, we discovered that that's exactly where I was going to put the building at for the compressor, was exactly where the service needed to be coming into the new shop. So then I was going to put it on where the wash pad. I was going to pour the wash pad and put the compressor right there. Well, then I didn't want to take up any real estate where the wash pad is. I don't want anything in there. I want it all to be wash pad. So then that revolted us back to the only other available position, and that is on the Route 10 side, all the way toward the office. So we had to pour a pad there. And we discovered that when you open the door, because we're going to put a door on it, just kind of like a barn door, nothing fancy, that it would probably swing and hit the guardrail. So first I was just going to take the post out, but then it was going to leave a pretty good sized hole there for somebody to drive over into Route 10. Not to mention it wasn't going to look right. So we had to pull the post, reset the post. We did that yesterday. I drilled through the wall and stuck out the wires for the compressor shed. I wasn't going to put a light in there or receptacles when I ended up tying in and running a wire out. So now I got a light. I have a light in there, and I got the wire poked through for the compressor. Then I went ahead and put a light. I'm going to put a 24-hour light or a stay-on light up above the entrance door, the man door coming into the shop. I wasn't going to put one there because I thought the dusk to dawn light would be plenty sufficient, but then I kind of worried about just it being a little dark when you first come in the shop, and that way you can see where the light switches and everything is. So I did that. Then we just kind of dressed up around the house down there and put a couple shrubs and stuff in. So, and then after that, we went to Guyandotte and started working on a road improvement project for American Tower. Had a lot of brush hogging to do, put the skid steer to work, used a whole tank of fuel mowing. I mean, I bid that job sight unseen. I looked through the bids, went through the paperwork, the blueprints, the prints, or whatever to do the improvement project, and that's a rough one. Let me tell you, 2,000 feet of riprap ditch. So 4,000 feet, I think, 3,900 to 4,000 feet of road to improve, and 2,000 feet of that gets a V'd out ditch with riprap. So really kicked myself in the butt for that one. I'll definitely not make that mistake again. I will make sure I look at every one of them. But it ain't that big a deal. It ain't gonna be catastrophic or anything. It's close to home. I mean, it ain't like I'm staying out of town or anything. I mean, it's really close to home. It's next door, so we got that going on. We got to get this job here completed. I'm hoping that the little rats stay away, but who knows? At this point in matter, I mean, it is what it is. I got to work. I'm not going to be hiding in the dark or anything. It's just crazy that people feel they need to rat and cause a bunch of problems for somebody who's trying to work, make a living. I provide 4 jobs for our area here. I mean, I think they're pretty decent paying jobs, and the more you learn, the more you earn at KD. So trust me, I don't want nobody working for me making $10, $11, $12, $13 an hour. I want everybody making $18, $20 an hour, because that means that we're all making money. And I'm not money hungry. I just like to make money so we can spend it. That's what we got going on. So we're going to clean this little bit of mud and stuff up. There really ain't that much mud at all here. We done a really good job. The guys did a really good job at sealing everything up. It's just barely, it just ain't that much mud. We got a little area out here. Let's go ahead and walk out here while we're letting the iron kind of warm up. I gotta remind me to put DEF fluid in that skid steer. That thing absolutely drinks the DEF. For all you tree huggers out there, I don't understand the concept. So, my machine burns more fuel. It also uses another nasty poison additive. Then, carrying that poison additive in a container that you cannot reuse for anything else, and put more of them out there. Good thing I'm a dirt pusher, not an environmentalist. I'd go broke. No, I wouldn't. I'd have the federal government's checkbook. Nobody goes broke when you got the Fed's checkbook. Okay, now what we have here, backing up, not blaming the loggers. I got a lot of friends of mine that are loggers. I understand. But what I'm walking on was filled, I guess, as it got soft. And so they could continue to work. They just kept shoving stuff like this in there. We dug a bunch of it out, and I quit digging it out because it was getting to be a lot. And it's one of those things where if you open it up, then you have to do something with it. Because they actually go in there and they mat. They put that brush and everything in and they mat it together. So, we got to figure out this morning what we're going to do with this, but I think I'm going to try to just talk the customer in. Let's just cap it up and lock it together. I'm hoping that it's just in this small area right here. And if that's the case, then what we're going to do ain't going to matter much. As long as it remains pretty solid, we'll be okay. I've been in roads before where they buried logs and trees in it, 4 foot deep, and it never did affect anything because it's so deep in the ground. So I don't know if that's the case here or not, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Anyway, let's get something going. All right, we're working on this road here. Basically, I actually got a pretty good seam. Man, this is like hard pan clay. And it's a long way to push it, I can tell you that. I know one of these days I'm going to invest in a off-road dump truck. But it's a long way to push it, but I'm pushing this stuff up, and I'm trying to get enough coverage up on top, and I'm locking all that stuff in, and it's really it's really I think it's going to be all right. I think we're going to be okay. I think we just barely squeaked by, but we're squeaking by. I'm trying to cut all this in preparation for all my draining, because I gotta route all this water. I got seams of water coming out the heel everywhere. One of the bad things about pushing this far is keeping your blade full, and I'm losing a lot of it. But I mean, it's building the wall. The wing walls are building up pretty nice, and I can still cut some on the other side of me. I'm just trying to get everything I can get out of this lower side first, or the hillside first, because that's where I need to cut my ditch and everything. And I'm trying to keep everything good and clean, so I'm not doing it like I typically would. Typically, I'd get up on the edge over there and come down hard on it and give me a lot of good material out there. But that side's got a lot of trees, pieces in it, a lot of roots and stuff in it, and I don't want it contaminating my road base. So I'm actually just kind of leaving it alone. I got a couple seams of water. I got them blocked off now. I got one over there. I've got it blocked off. I kind of got me a little dam built around it to keep the water from penetrating my field. Basically just trying to keep, I'd like to get all this locked up, tightened up. I'm getting ready to hit it with the roller. Once I get this first, I was putting a little bit of a heavier layer in there than what I typically do, but I'm doing that anticipating that I won't have no pumping issues. I tried it. I did that technique on the other side, and it worked fine. So I'm going to try that again on this side. Instead of rolling it in every 8 inches, I'm hoping that I can put about 12 inches in there. I put about 12 inches and I walked on it, and I'm going to put another 12 inches. Then I'm going to roll it, hoping that kind of bridges off that moisture level in the ground. We can get us a good base on this road. The guys come in, I'm going to send them after some mulch. They got here already unloaded. Unhooked the wagon, and I sent them after some seed. While they're gone, they give me a little bit more time in here. I kind of need a little bit of time by myself to get this started before I cut. Get them started on something too. I'm kind of cutting this road into a V-ditch on the upper side. Allows a place for that water to wick in and come out. Pretty good seam of, seemed like a pretty good seam. It's good and dry. So I'm hoping, it's not the best stuff to build with, but I'm hoping, really hopeful that it holds up. And I'll probably work on that ditch a little bit behind me. I'm gonna try to divert all this water. Just kind of a bear of a job right now, man. Just trying to get everything. This was my last, the big push. I got all the other roads done. This was my last big part. I was really hoping to get it done today. That way I can lock it all together and start getting the stone on it. I need to get some stone on this road. The stone's going to be the last part of the job. Got a little bit of water. Got a little bit of water coming out of the hill right there, pretty good. Try to get that blocked off. That's the thing too, is like up on Hash Ridge when I was building all those roads, that's the reason why I was having a hard time with building the roads, is I couldn't get enough done before the next shot of rain or whatever at the end of the day, and I couldn't get all the water blocked off. Try to get this one a little bit better. Of course, we are in June, getting ready to be July. Pretty good. It's been a pretty good looking job, I think, what she's done. I got a little bit more meat I can cut out. I got quite a bit of peel I can cut out on my right hand, my left hand side right here. I just don't want to create a water trap where I got to put additional culverts in. So I got to kind of watch how much elevation, or where I'm at on my elevation of it. So I I got to be careful with that too. If we had a dump truck, we could just dig this stuff out and throw it right in the dump truck, take it up there and dump it, and then smear it around and we'd be done. Otherwise, I got to push this stuff so far. Pushing it and then pushing it around a curve too. Taking a little bit of time. Pretty good water scene right there. See it kind of glistening in the water. It's got some sulfur in the ground around here too. A lot of sulfur. Okay, you guys stay tuned and I'll get you some pictures and video on the outside in a little bit. Boys are putting the seed on it. And go back and rough everything up. Let me tell you something, that takes time. I've been at about an hour now, I guess, going back and roughing everything back up where it rained on it. It creates like a crust and the seed won't germinate. Ever forgot that we're going to seed that. We'll set it back up here real quick. We're going to get us a bite to eat. Come back. I got everything done to about right there. So when I come back, they can do some reclaiming. They can blow some oil, so I'm going to try to get them to do that while I'm working on this road. Getting pretty close. Pretty close. Time we get back. Get another breath on it. Get at it. Pretty good dirt topsoil mostly. Man could really farm all that. I shoved that last little bit up on top. Pretty good little rise ended up through there. I'll put us another culvert in. But I think we're gonna be all right. When we get the rest of it cleaned up, dressed up, we'll be in good shape. Well, we had ourselves a little problem. I had them blowing mulch while I was down on the other end of working. And while they were down there, something caught on fire. Then it caught the trailer on fire. Oh man, it's been a mess. Now, I've never seen straw burn like that. Look at it. Still burning. I've never seen straw burn like it. So, we melted the light out. Caught the trailer on fire, melted that light. But for all in all, I think she's okay. I really do. I think she's okay. We're going to put her back together here. I sent them after another trailer plug. I sent them after another trailer plug while I was finishing up trying to put all this back together the best I could. Anyway, I don't know if that's going to slide up in there or not, but we're going to try it. Yeah, ain't going to happen. But it's almost like, I swear, it's almost like somebody spilt something in there. Now, I know there's some pine sap that caught on fire and was running. The only thing I can figure is maybe it got some of them pine boards on fire and the sap was running down this way, but it caught everything on fire. It caught all the bales. I mean, it was bad. So we got it put out. That's a good thing. We did get it put out, and not sure exactly what happened, but it's lost about 70 bale of mulch, I guess, and 4 ratchet straps, and a tube of or a bucket of that goo. I think it'll work. Yeah. So could have been a lot worse. I'm glad, although I'm not glad that it happened, but I am glad that, you know, that's all that happened. That's all that got tore up. That's a good thing. I'll buy bales of straw all day long over somebody losing their life. So we're good on that. We'll get this hooked back up. I'll put my plug back on the end of it. And I'll put my plug back on the end of it and send them back to Hamlin to get some more mulch. And of course, by the time they get all that, it'll be quitting time, but we'll have the mulch already. So, and I'll stay here and finish dozing this road and stuff in. Stay tuned. My circus is still going. Now we're building these entrances. I'm cutting this side down. I'm cutting this side down and shoving it all out to here. I'm gonna take some of this bow out of this approachment. Started peeling some of that gravel back, but it wasn't, I mean, there wasn't no way to peel it back. And I ain't gonna really waste that much. So I'm just gonna have to do it like I'm doing it. I got it cut down a little bit. Straw's still burning. I've been shoving it out of the way as I need be, but you kind of get an idea here. I'm bringing this side in, and I'm gonna bring this side in, and then cut this down to match, and then just pull it back this way. Let's get on this roller and roll this in. Tighten this up before we put any more on it. Well, we got her all slicked up here pretty good. That right there was actually a little bit wetter than I typically use, so I'm not going to roll it till tomorrow, I don't think. I'm going to walk on it again and kind of bust them clods and stuff up. But if you actually let that kind of air out a little bit before you roll it, it'll do okay, it'll compact. But if you roll that stuff when it's too wet, it will pump like no other. I got the road all the way up in there. I got my ditch trained. I wanted to put a culvert on this side, but it just didn't work out. Not without putting a pretty good dip in the road, and the way it is now, it all kind of just comes up here like a big T. So without getting in there and gomming around, making it look like something stupid, we're just gonna leave it the way it is. But this water will run down, and it equals out, it balances out about right in here. And what I'll do is I'll put 2 sections of 12-inch up underneath the road. I'll stick it out in here, and I'll just V this out where that water will run that way. Another good thing about doing it this way is all that water will come down and go on the other side of the culvert. So it'll be on this side. It won't have to go through this, you know, it'll kind of redirect a lot of the water, deposited in the same place, but it'll just, we don't have to let it travel through again. It turned out all right. Over in here is a little bit gummy. I don't really like it, but that was super wet. So tomorrow I'll probably grab them sticks and logs and stuff and get them picked up, get them thrown out there, and I'll just dress it up. And I can see I got a little bit of extra material right in here. So I'll probably come over here and kind of skim on this a little bit and just kind of shape this in. There's a road all the way up in the holler. There's a road all the way to the house seat. You can step back here and kind of get a little bit better view. We got some pretty good, we got done a lot today. Even after we set the trailer on fire and all that bull mess, we still got quite a bit done. Like I said, this here will all roll out tomorrow really good. It needs to air out some. And if you push it in there and you kind of just track on it, it'll dry out in the morning and it'll be fine. But that's what she looks like, going up that way, that way. And then tomorrow, of course, I'll drape everything over. I'll crown it, keep the water off of it. I'll clean all this up. But anyway, I think it's looking pretty good. I think it's looking pretty good. We got stone coming on Friday. So, guys, we'll try to get something done.